gonna do a video. I got a request for this actually, to tell you what all I've been able to do to the Mustang, and just doing a couple shots around the outside. Hi everybody, welcome back to Gearhead Garage. I hope you enjoyed the other video I just dropped. Actually dropping these two videos at the same time. The first one was on carburetor tuning with the new carburetor that got on it today. We're also going to do a full, I guess, in-depth review of everything that I've been able to do to the Mustang, and also to how I got it, and kind of where it's from, where it lived most of its life, and kind of what I've done to it thus far. And obviously you've seen it on the track too, which has been great. It's handled really well, and definitely next year when things start to warm back up and things start to pick back up, plan on taking it out some more as well. But as of right now, I think that I've done really everything that I can do. The T5 transmission that's in here that we're going to get to in a little bit, starting to make a little bit of noise. I think some of the bearings are wearing out, but we'll save that until it just goes out, and then we'll dig into that, and I'll do a video of that as well. But right now, this is it. This is everything that I've ever dreamed of, if I've ever wanted, in a Mustang. And obviously you can't beat black as a color, so let's get right into it. Wanted to get a quick shot of the history so you guys can see all that. Built in San Jose. It was actually shipped to Denver first. Was originally vintage burgundy, which was really cool. D6, right, white with black trim. So white interior, burgundy car, beautiful. Date March 15th, 1965. DSO Denver. The axle ratio was originally open 3.0 with a C4. There you go. And then this was, a previous list of the modifications before I put the cam in it. And then, right, a couple pictures of me in the car and my wife. We love to take this thing on road trips. That's what it's all about, taking it on all the road trips. All right, so first thing we'll review is the outside of the car, and kind of what makes it, I think, a little bit unique. Obviously the mini light wheels, and these are 16s, I believe. The mini light wheels are made by a company that's no longer in business, but these are definitely a throwback to the Trans Am series days. And obviously you can see up underneath there, I'll try to get a good view of those, but it's got disc brakes, it's got the Kelsey Hayes SSBC, 4 piston calipers on the front. Next thing you'll see here is the little black and red pony. I love that. That's why I actually named it Black Widow. This car, as you see it from the outside, the black paint, the stripe, all the emblems and everything that are on it today is exactly how I got it. I got it from Hankster's Hot Rods up in Pennsylvania. They had this in their Pennsylvania showroom. The car that I actually got it. It was titled in New Hampshire before I got it. Well, it looks like my lights are on. Let's see what's going on with that. But it's the other door. Nope. Okay. So this door is open. There we go. All right. So you can see the little ponies there on either side. And a little black and red, right? Mini lights with the center caps taken out. I think that looks really cool. I actually lost the 2 front center caps on the track once, so I actually took the rear ones off as well. I've got side exit exhaust on it. You can see here, I'll try to get on the ground and show you what I've done to it. So this exhaust is literally just 2 1/4 inch. And I'm not sure if you can see that in there, but it's a 18-inch glass pack. That is it. And then it's right the 2 1/4 all the way up, and it's got a little H pipe right there. It does not have long tube headers. That is, I think, maybe the only thing that I would want to do to it. You can also see too, I do have the Competition Engineering subframe connectors on there as well. They just bolt right in. It's a really awesome product, really super good quality. Obviously I've got Caltrax bars on there. I absolutely love those. I had really bad wheel hop problems. That solved that. absolutely no problem, which is great. We're gonna walk around at the back of the vehicle here. Okay, levers. Okay, it's actually got LED tail lights, which is great. Obviously super bright, much brighter than the original stuff. It's got the billet aluminum cap there. It's got an old North Carolina license plate on it I found at the Speedway Auto Fair. We've got a big swap meet there. It still has the original 8-inch rear end. I put Coney shocks on there, just the ST, I think it's STRT shocks. So not the Coney red ones that are adjustable, but these are the non-adjustable ones. These are, I think, really good for the street. They've obviously performed really well on the track. You can see I just did little exhaust hangers up there, kind of off where the rear seat mounts to the car. You can see the Caltrax bar is really good. Okay, and it does, obviously we're not going to get, it does have the drum brakes on the rear, this in the front, and we're not going to get inside the rear end, but it does have, I think it's a 373 or a 380 rear end in it, or gear set in it, with a Detroit locker. So if you ever hear it, you know, kind of lock it up in videos, or kind of some noises coming from the rear end, that is why. They're notoriously loud. The 65 Shelby GT350s came with Detroit lockers just like this one has, and people complained about them being too loud, and they were obviously concerned that something was breaking in the rear end, but yeah, nothing's actually wrong. So next thing we'll get to will be the interior. I'm just going to show you this side as well so you can see the competition engineering, subframe connectors, and the exhaust, and kind of how that's routed and mounted. There they are right there, the little glass packs hanging right out the side, just 2 1/4 inch. It's really all it needs. It's plenty loud. All right, so next we'll get on to the interior. So here's the interior, right? Tuxedo interior, really super nice. It's actually got the bullet mirrors on there, which I absolutely love. Those are great. Can't see anything out of them, but they do work. Here is the original plate for the car. Whenever it was restored, somebody actually put it back in upside down, which is really super weird. So that, and posted in the video as well. But here is the interior. So you can see the clutch there, clutch pedal, brake pedal, gas pedal. Obviously it's got a oil gauge in it. I put that, you actually have another video on the channel here where I put this AFR gauge in. It's been really super helpful for tuning, just to make sure everything's right. And then obviously when I go to wide up and throttle, I want to make sure that it's not lean or anything. So 3-spoke steering wheel. I absolutely love the black. This little red stripe up here is actually from just a piece of electrical tape that I put on there. I think it's helpful on the track. It's got the Simpson belt harness, or lap belt, and it's got the TMI bucket seats here. These are really super great, super comfortable. Lots of bolstering on the side and here. When you get on the track, you can definitely probably tell the difference versus the stock seats. I wish they actually held a little bit better, because this thing slings you around a bit. It's a bit pushy. It's got the TMI console in here. It's got manual transmission. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a 5-speed. It actually has a T5 in it. I haven't had any issues out of it yet, but I do know that they are prone to issues. And I do have some, what I think is bearing noise going on in there. I've replaced the clutch and everything, which we'll get to in a minute, but it's got the original instrument cluster here. It's got custom auto sound radio. These things are super great, Bluetooth compatible. It's got a USB port on the other side, which I hid. It's got AC, which is awesome. Here's another shot the little black and red pony, right? That's why she's the Black Widow. So this is the only upgrade that I've made to the outside of the vehicle, is just adding that little, you know, red, white, and blue typical pony that you would see on the Shelbys. I absolutely love those. I wanted to make this like a Shelby-esque, but not put the GT350 on the side like everybody else does. It's not, you know, I'm not trying to represent it for what it's not. I just love the performance of the GT350s. It's got LED turn signals, it's got halo headlights, and now for the best part, we'll get into the engine bay. Alright, so here's the engine bay. This is a lot of the work up here, so there's a couple of things I'll try to show you. So I've got KRC power steering, really super great. It's got actually a steering rack in there, so I'm going to try to get under the car again and show you that. So, I know it's kind of dark. There's a larger front sway bar that I put in, and there's, well, let me get a light really quick. So there's a larger front sway bar. You can see that there's been really no upgrades to the suspension other than the larger sway bar and, you know, rack and pinion style steering, which has been great. So back to the engine bay. You can see that I've got, it's actually JBA shorty headers. I've got the Ford Racing plug wires, they work super great. MSD distributor here. Edelbrock RPM Performer intake, Brawler 650 CFM carb, double pumper, as you can say, or as you can see, mechanical secondaries, right? Obviously the AC, right? Actually a stock style radiator. I've had really good performance out of that. It's just a brass copper core. It's got 4 rows in it. It's super great. Still got the regular mechanical fan on there. Full MSD ignition with the rev limiter. I'm sure you guys have heard me bounce it off the rev limiter a couple of times. It's kind of fun when that happens. Obviously don't want to do it too much, right? MSD 6AL, Blaster 3 coil. I do have power brakes on it. So I had a larger booster. I actually went with a smaller booster. This is by Lead. I like to have a little bit more pedal feel, so I went with a smaller booster, and it's worked really good, even with the cam that's in it. Speaking of the cam that's in it, I'll try to go dig out the box over there, but it's a Comp Cam XE268H, not a HR. It's not a hydraulic roller. Obviously, you guys have heard it. It sounds really good, performs really well. You know, keeps pulling versus the cam that was in there. Here's hopefully a better shot of the shorty headers that are there. Get the light on that, right? So the collector is just right here, right? Shorty header, right? Ford Racing valve covers. Underneath the valve covers, I've got the AFR 165cc, you know, 20-degree Renegade heads, aluminum heads on it. Absolutely fantastic. Stock style water pump. Let's see what else. Underneath the valve covers themselves are Scorpion roller rockers, full rollers actually, and I got the AFR stud girdles as well. So that's pretty much it. It did have a hood scoop put on it, just the kit that you can buy. Somebody cut a hole in the hood and put the scoop on it, but I think it looks really great. Obviously got the export braces and the Monte Carlo bar up front as well, and the Coney shocks. And I'll get around to the side here. You can see that suspension wise as well, it has had the Shelby drop performed on it. So that's just that 1 inch lower, and it's got springs as well as the lower upper control arm as well. Still stock in the rear in terms of spring, so it's just got the regular standard spring in the back, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a 302 60 over, so it's like a 309 310. It's got flat top pistons in it. Nothing's been done to the crank, stock bottom end. Really, other than that, I mean, it's been a really good motor. I mean, what I've done to it is just the heads, the cam, the intake, the carburetor, you know, tuned up obviously the ignition system whenever I got it. I run VR1 20W50 in it. Always has really great oil pressure, great for the track, really great for these old cars. Has tons of zinc in it. But also too, it's got the General G-Max tires on it. These have, you know, done pretty well. I've had a couple of different track days, a couple of different autocross days. They've held up pretty well. Next year I definitely am going to be getting some new rubber on all four corners. Yeah, really other than that, that's it. I do have a 1-inch carb spacer on there as well, and T5's been holding up to the torque that's been putting down. The specs on it are, I had the Dyno Mule do it at Hot Rod Power Tour whenever I took it. 250 horsepower, 340 foot-pounds of torque, and that was before I put the cam in it. So next year, whenever he's back, or if he ever comes to a local event and gets pretty close, I'll definitely be going back and putting it on the dyno and seeing what she makes. I'm hoping for 300 to the wheel and, you know, keeping around 340 in terms of torque. But yeah, she's done really well. She's been really super reliable, always has started up great. So really good Mustang. Obviously you can't beat the Fastback. So thank you guys for tuning in and checking out the Mustang.